Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Scoot, good to see you again. Welcome back to Popternative, man.
Good to see you too, Pete, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's exciting, man. I can't wait for people to be able to see this with their families at home, you know, the digital release and everything. I'm really curious because adaptations really interest me from an acting and kind of storyteller perspective. This was a very popular children's book, and I feel like there's multiple steps in terms of the movie you guys made. There's the book, there's the script, and there's kind of putting it on screen. What is that mindset, knowing that it's a popular book and you're going to kind of have to put this on the big screen and be part of that?
Well, you know, anything you're sort of remaking or taking, it's always interesting to see, to me, how the directors, you know, put a spin on it or twist it or make it their own. And, you know, adding in this musical element to it and making it a musical, I thought was like a completely different take on like what the book, or just, you know, sort of thinking outside the box. So that was something that was interesting. Also, you know, the cast that they put together with Javier Bardem, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so surprising that like, oh, of course, that's a genius idea, something I wouldn't have thought of. And then, you know, with Constance Wu coming in, I had no idea. Actors constantly surprise me with her singing and her dancing and stuff. It was so cool to watch. So this particular project, I had read the Primms on 88th Street when I was a kid. I don't remember the story, but I remember all the pictures and I remember the cover of the book. That when it came to me, you know, there was that sort of nostalgic moment of you know, holy shit, like,
yeah,
I know this book. How do I know this book? So I was really excited, and also, you know, being a part of a kids movie was huge because I don't have a lot of projects to show my kiddos, and so this for me was like, you know, it was a huge win, and it's something I was incredibly excited and passionate about to be involved with.
Absolutely. And it's interesting too, you mentioned like kids content, like edutainment has always been a huge part, for a big thing for me, you know what I mean? And I love the kind of the balance of like when I was a kid having just a great time and learning at the same time and everything. So it's great that you kind of bring that up. Talking specifically about the movie, because I find that it's packed in terms of so many elements everywhere. You kind of talked about a little bit, like an amazing cast, but like the big city kind of perspective is something I love the most about it. When you're actually like going there and filming it, what are the elements that stand out the most to you? Is it the fact that it's got the singing and the dancing? Is it kind of like the big city, the aesthetic? Like what comes to mind specifically there, Scoot?
For this movie, yeah. I mean, you're shooting in New York City, which is always a dream. Also, you're shooting in this picturesque like neighborhood of old, you know, fairy tale New York. Yeah. It's autumn, you know what I mean? The leaves are falling. I mean, just to even go to New York as a tourist during that time is amazing. But to be there and be making a movie and working in these different locations and stuff, it was a real. It was awesome, man. It was like a dream come true. The film itself and the core of the film is also something that was inspiring to me. Is that building, you know, confidence in kids, which I think is so important. Huge. And this, you know, really nails that on the head. And Will and Josh did such a great job at portraying that, you know, and building confidence in kids gives kids the ability to speak up. And when they're able to speak up, they learn things about themselves. Yeah. And as you learn things about yourselves, it helps you to grow as a person. So I just felt that like the through line, what the film was about, the location, the story, the subject matter, the new spin on it, you know, and on top, me too, comedy, like it's been hard for me to get a comedy. So I was kind of like, all right, you know, not to say that I'm not funny in the movie, but more so that like I was just glad to be doing something a little bit lighter.
I mean, you were working with a very talented crocodile. Let's just say that there was a lot of talent there.
Yeah, he takes the steam.
Is that your favorite thing though about being a storyteller, like diving into all these different worlds, Narcos, Mexico, Lyle Crocodile? Is that the best thing about it, Scoot?
It's story, yeah. It's also location. Like, you know, I really don't like shooting on a stage. I really like to be outside. And so like, to me, if I'm outside, that's not work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm happy. It's just not considered work. So, you know, I don't know. I sort of sidetracked there, but you know, just being outside makes the experience 1,000 times more.
It elevates it. Absolutely. It elevates it. And, you know, absolutely. And, you know, it's going to be available on digital November 22nd, and then 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, all that fun stuff, the 13th of December. Scoot, it was so great catching up with you, man. Thank you so much for coming back on Pop Alternative.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to everybody watching the flick over the holidays.
Oh, absolutely. Perfect film for the holidays. Go get it. Absolutely.
All right, Pete.
Perfect.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.